Nearly 2 months after Ukrainian International Flight 752 was shot down over Iran, the work and the devastation for the families left grieving continues. So do many of the questions. For example, why was that plane allowed to take off at all in what had become a hostile environment? As Ashley Burke explains, money may be part of the answer.
They've traveled from Iran to pack up what's left of their daughter's life. Her Toronto apartment full of memories, her belongings, and her music.
Now it's hard to believe that she doesn't exist anymore.
I miss her so much.
Negar Bourget was a master's student at McGill University. She and her husband died when Iran shot down Flight 752. Her family's still haunted by why planes were allowed to fly in Iran just hours after it fired missiles at U.S. bases in Iraq.
We're asking ourselves time and time, and we are waiting for the answer.
An Iranian aviation expert says closing down the airspace would have cost Iran.
It's because of the money. Money is important. Money is important for the government.
With the rise of ISIS in neighboring countries, Iranian airspace had provided a critical safe passage for airlines to travel between Europe and Asia. To use it, Iran charges a higher fee than some other countries, often more than $1,000 Canadian per flight. With more than 800 flights a day, that's potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars in daily income, about $140 million between March 2018 and 2019. After the shootdown of a Malaysian Airlines flight in 2014, Ukrainian Canadian Michael Boserkiu was part of a special group that monitored the investigation. He said countries are often reluctant to close down airspace for economic reasons.
This is a regime that has been heavily hit by sanctions. They're very dependent on foreign currency, foreign income, which overflight fees give them. So it very well, was probably factored into that decision.
This is disgusting.
The Bourgets hope it isn't true.
Human life is beyond all that.
Airlines also need to conduct risk assessments and reroute planes if it's not safe to fly. This week, Canada's Foreign Affairs Minister is meeting with the airline in Ukraine to try and speed up getting compensation for victims' families, and in a separate meeting, talking about going after Iran for compensation too. Ashley Burke, CBC News, Ottawa.